The air in Vincent Reyes's workshop smelled like solder and sorrow. Tucked behind a dusty record shop in Austin, Texas, the reclusive technician lived in self-imposed silence, stitching broken radios while his heart remained permanently shattered. Like, subscribe, share, and comment if this story moved you. Vincent wasn't always this way. Once, he had been a brilliant audio engineer, known for pulling sound from silence and harmony from chaos, until one devastating night stole everything: his wife, his daughter, and his reason to keep the music playing. A car crash, failed brakes. But in Vincent's mind, it wasn't the vehicle. It was the 5 minutes he spent finishing one last track. Just 5 minutes. A lifetime's worth of guilt. Years passed. He stopped living and started enduring. His world was quiet, not because it lacked sound, but because it lacked joy. Until she walked in. No taller than the shop counter, her tiny fingers gripped a cracked hearing aid. In the other hand, she held a spiral notebook. Her message, scribbled in blocky handwriting: "Sir, my mom can't hear me. Can you fix this?" Behind her stood a woman. Tired eyes, strong posture, a silent storm of resilience. Her name was Elena Brooks. Deaf, mother, fighter. The child, Ava, was 6, bright-eyed, fluent in signing and hope. Vincent took the device, his weathered hands trembling. "I can try." As he worked, Ava filled the silence with stories. Her mom's favorite songs, her school's upcoming family showcase. Her voice filled the shop like sunlight breaking through old blinds. "I don't have anyone to bring. Maybe you could come?" He didn't know why he said yes, but he did. He arrived in flannel and nerves, feeling like a misplaced chord in a cheerful melody. But when Ava saw him, her smile lit the room like a stage light. "This is Mr. Vincent," she announced proudly. "He made sound come back for my mom." That night, he sat on Elena's porch. Crickets chirped. Her phone glowed in her hand as she typed. It was a quiet space, not uncomfortable, just honest. Then he spoke, slow, raw. "I lost my family in a car crash. I was late, 5 minutes late. They took a shortcut. I never saw them again." Elena didn't interrupt. She typed something on her phone and handed it to him. "You were late. I was left. Maybe that's what made us find each other." Something shifted in his chest, something long frozen, melted. Days later, tragedy knocked again. Elena and Ava were hit by a speeding car, brake failure. History felt like it was repeating, cruel and mocking. Vincent raced to the hospital, his heart screaming. Outside the ER, he saw her handbag. He collapsed. But then, the doctor emerged. "They're alive." Ava, however, had suffered trauma to her temporal lobe, partial hearing loss. Vincent entered the hospital room, heart thudding. "You came?" Ava whispered. Then she signed, smiling through her sling. "Now I'm like you and Mom. We get to use hand signs. That makes us a family, right?" Vincent wept, holding her like she was made of light. "I'm not leaving either of you," he whispered. "You're my family now." But peace is fragile. A storm arrived in a tailored suit. Arthur Langston, Elena's estranged father. "I'm filing for custody," he barked. "This child deserves better than a deaf woman and a broken man playing house." Courtroom lights, cold words, old scars. Then Ava stood, small, brave. "My mom and Mr. Vincent hear me with their hearts. Grandpa doesn't like deaf people. Now I can't hear much either, so he doesn't like me anymore." Silence fell. The judge leaned forward. Custody remains with Miss Brooks. Love, not sound, is what raises a child. Arthur left, defeated. In the months that followed, Vincent transformed the back of his shop into a sanctuary, echo and light, a workshop where kids could feel music through vibration and light. Elena began teaching sign language. Ava became the heartbeat of every room. One rainy evening, Vincent returned home. The house was filled with warmth and faint vinyl crackles. On the fridge, a crayon drawing. 3 stick figures beneath a sun. One had a beard, one had curly hair, one had a bright purple hearing aid. Above them, Ava had written, "We talk with our hands, we listen with our hearts. That makes us a real family." Vincent stood still. Tears welled. Little footsteps approached. He crouched and hugged her. "You fixed me first, kid," he whispered. Elena watched from the hallway, smiling through tears. Words weren't needed. They never had to say family again. They simply became one. Sometimes life doesn't give you what you lost. It gives you what you never knew you needed. Would you take a second chance? Not to erase the past, but to choose love now? Tell us in the comments below.